It's no secret that Toyotas have a great reputation for long-term reliability and durability, but what does that really look like? Well, today we're going to take a look at this 2004 Toyota Tundra with over 300,000 miles. So you guys have seen Matt in several videos in the past. He had a 2017 Tacoma SR5, and he recently sold it because the market is awesome right now. Got rid of his loan, was able to use the proceeds to pay cash for this Tundra. So my first question is just kind of talking about like the driving in the Tundra. How does it drive for an older truck with really high mileage?
It drives really smooth. The power and the motor is still really good. I've upgraded the suspension a little bit so it rides smoother, because before, when I bought the truck, I think the shocks, at least in the front, were bad, so it'd do like a nice dip and dive when you hit the brakes. But now that I've replaced the suspension with the Rancho Quick Lift, it seems to perform quite a bit better. So. Yeah.
And how's the steering feel? Is it still a pretty tight feel to it, or is it kind of
very much so. That's one thing I did before I lifted the truck. I got under the truck and kind of shook things around to make sure everything was nice and tight, because I knew once I lifted it, if everything wasn't tight, they weren't going to align it for me. But yeah, this is a nice solid truck. Somebody really took good care of it before me.
Yeah. One thing I'm noticing just kind of riding in it is it feels super comfortable. I mean, honestly, I'd say it is more comfortable than the third gen Tacoma.
By a long shot.
I mean, even though it's got 300,000 miles on it, it still rides nicer.
I would definitely say so.
I think the seats are more comfortable.
This definitely rides nicer than my Tacoma.
Yeah, so it's pretty impressive for a truck that's that old to still ride that nice. And it seems like it feels pretty powerful still as well.
Yeah, it's still got a nice power band to it.
Yeah, hasn't really lost a whole lot in its older age.
Not at all.
So how is the paint, the plastic on the vehicle, like trim pieces? Is there anything in terms of wear? I mean, again, over 300,000 miles, obviously it's probably spent a lot of time out in the sun, on the roads, Central Oregon. Does the paint have any fading? Is there any, delamination or clear coat peeling or anything like that?
That's a good question, buddy. From what I can tell, it's spent a lot of time outside. But on this particular truck, there's no paint fading. I'm going to polish it and buff it and wax it here soon, just for the winter. But there's really no paint issues on the truck other than the basic rock chips from, just being this old of a truck. The one thing you'll notice is even though the trim is in good shape, it's still faded. Yeah. I think that's just kind of
that's bound to happen.
Par for the course on that one.
Nothing that's fallen off or broken, or
Yeah, I would say, and I don't know if it's typical for these trucks, and I don't know really what the deal is, but I took the front fender flares off because the clips are kind of rotting out. I think the flares themselves are still really good, so I think I might just have to buy new hardware. I may just buy new fender flares altogether. Yeah. So, and then you can see back here, it's probably just from the road rash.
Oh, sure.
But it's kind of eating the front part of that out.
Yeah.
But other than that, that's really it. I mean,
for 300,000 miles is pretty impressive.
Well, when I looked underneath when I bought the truck, there was really no rust on the frame. I've done some spraying of the frame myself, but there really wasn't anything. Because that was one of the main things I looked at.
Yeah, well, it's one of the beauties of the Central Oregon car market is they don't salt the roads, and so they
I know, thank goodness.
Stay in pretty good shape. But yeah, even up here again, it's nothing's really peeling or
no.
It's not the best time to be doing this clip since we've just been driving on some dusty roads, so it's a little dirty.
Yeah, and you got your normal rock chips. You can see the plates beat up, so it's taken some abuse. But
yeah,
for the most part, the truck's in really good shape. There's no dents or anything in it. So it's just really
now what
the
about
rock
inside?
Chips.
Inside, do you have any materials that are cracking or peeling?
No, the only thing I would say that really had an issue was maybe some of the rubber trim. Yeah. And it really isn't that bad. It's just
no, it's pretty good.
I'm trying to think where it was. I saw some that was kind of eaten up. Oh, right here.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Other than that, that's really it.
Yeah, all the fabric and everything seems to be in pretty good shape.
Yeah. So the build quality is really nice.
Anything that doesn't work as far as electronics, sensors?
No, everything works great.
Everything works great.
Yeah.
Got an aftermarket
Oh, the
stereo,
seatbelt thing always has like a little warning light, like my seatbelt's not plugged in, but that's just the sensor inside here. So I bought a new one I'm gonna put in.
Yeah, it's still pretty
Yeah,
minor.
still pretty nice. Yeah.
Seats are in good shape. You got just a little wear right there. That's pretty good for 300,000 miles.
Yeah. Especially that's the spot where you kind of get in and out. That's the part that takes the most abuse.
Almost any car is going to have that.
Yeah.
After that many
no
miles.
cracks in the dash. No.
Yeah.
No nasty scratches.
No, I'd say pretty good build quality on this truck at least. Or
Toyota
at least
really
it's been
did
pretty well taken care of, one or the other, or both.
I think both. You know, I mean, it was taken pretty good care of before me.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't perfect, obviously, but.
Now, you never know at 300,000 miles looking at it inside or out. It's pretty amazing. So this has the 4.7 liter V8. Great engine. Toyota's got a number of their various models. Got on the Lexus GX, the Tundra, the 4Runner. And obviously 300,000 miles, still running good. Pretty good indication of the quality of this engine. Does it have any, weird noises, or is there anything about, the way it operates that has you concerned?
Not whatsoever. I mean, it fires up every morning. Even when it's super cold, it fires right up.
Does it take some time for it to warm up to, performance-wise, or does it have any funny sounds when you first turn it on?
No, when I first turn it on, it sounds pretty normal. The one thing the guy that said that when I bought it from him, he said it had piston slap when it was cold, but I don't hear it.
Yeah, I've got a friend that had a Sequoia that told me the same thing.
I don't hear it though. But I don't get on it. Like when it's cold, I let it sit for a few minutes and warm up, but I'm never really excessive with it. And if I do punch it, like the truck's been completely warmed up for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it fires up, sounds great, doesn't have any knocks, ticks.
Yeah.
The power band on the motor is just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
And like you said,
so basically no mechanical issues, no electrical, like nothing. Everything's perfect. Wow.
Well, I think a lot of that had to do with it going in the Land Cruiser and them doing so much research and development on that particular rig. And then when they put that motor in this truck and in the 4Runner and like the other rigs you mentioned, you just get a good quality motor.
Yeah, for sure. How many miles have you put on it?
Let's see, it's got 300,000 now, and I think I bought it with 293, so about 7,000.
Okay, yeah, that's not bad.
No.
Yeah. How many miles is it going to roll?
That's a good question.
What's your guess?
I see people on YouTube talking about theirs running 500,000 miles.
Yeah.
I would imagine.
They've got the second gen Tundra that went 1 million.
Yes.
I've never heard any first gens doing that.
No, it may not. Who knows?
Yeah.
But shoot, if you really think about it, 500,000 miles is quite a bit of miles.
That's quite a few.
Like, let's say the truck was just absolutely perfect, and that's the only thing that went bad at 500,000 miles. It might be a decent investment to put a new one in.
Yeah.
But you're probably gonna have to do a transmission too.
Let us know how long you guys think this thing's gonna be rolling in the comment section below. Next up, we'll take a quick look at the off-road capability on this 17-year-old truck. It does have four-wheel drive with a 2-speed transfer case. We've got a low and a high range option, but unlike the newer Toyotas, there's no crawl control, there's no multi-terrain select, no locking differential either, unfortunately, but still there's a lot you can do with the four-wheel drive. And of course, it's got pretty good ground clearance, especially with the lift kit. So Matt, you had a 2017 Tacoma SR5. How did the off-road capability compare between that truck and the Tundra?
From what I can tell, just from the little that I've done with this truck, they're very similar. The one thing you are going to get with the Tacoma that you don't get with the Tundra is obviously this truck is quite a bit wider, and so you're able to squeak down some of those little tight roads. And with some of the things I've seen here where we're at the moment, the Tacoma would have been a lot more capable, just more because of the width. This is just a bulkier truck.
Yeah, what about wheelbase?
Similar. Yeah, real similar in wheelbase.
Height on this truck too. Yeah, offsets it.
It does help. I mean, I know this is only an access cab, but really that's a very similar size because this is a longer bed than the Tacoma.
Yeah.
So they're probably very similar in wheelbase and length.
Yeah. So the breakover is probably
very similar.
Similar.
Yeah, just wider. So I'm not going to get into as many places as I could with the Tacoma.
And your Tacoma didn't have a track anyway, right?
It did not.
Yeah. So you're basically saying you got a 2-speed transfer case, and that's about it.
Yeah, I think you had to on the Tacoma. I think you had to get the 6-speed manual to get the A track in the 3rd gen.
Yeah.
So
makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, let's go have some fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
right, so Matt, the last question. Do you like the first gen Tundra or the third gen Tacoma more?
You hit me with some tough questions, my friend. Because I think both of the trucks do really well. But trail oriented, I say, you know, width wise, I say the Tacoma's probably better in that sense. But this thing seems to be almost as capable.
Yeah. Which one would you rather have? If you could have one truck or the other?
Probably this one.
Really?
Yeah.
That is not what I was expecting. I thought Tacoma for sure.
I was thinking Tacoma too, but man, I mean, this is just a bigger truck. It's more comfortable.
Yeah.
And it's, like you said, it's just as capable.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you know, my next question was going to be, which truck do you think is the better truck for its era? Obviously, you're going to go with the Tundra with that answer. I would say the same as well.
Yeah.
I personally think that between the two trucks, I like the third gen Tacoma more, but it's also newer. It's got a lot of features you don't get on the first gen Tundra, so it kind of makes sense. But really, when it's all said and done, you look at what this truck is for a 20-year-old truck compared to a brand new third gen Tacoma. I agree. I think this is the better vehicle. I think Toyota tried harder on this. I honestly think that they got a little bit complacent with the third gen Tacoma because there's no competition, or there wasn't. Now there is.
Now there is.
And so I bet we're going to see a big jump for the fourth gen.
Heck yeah. Oh, and I do miss my Tacoma. It was a great truck. I mean, the wheelbase on it was nice. It was real nice and narrow.
Yeah.
But I feel like I fit in this truck better.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, that question was tough because I really loved my Tacoma. So it's not even a knock on the third gen. Like I would.
Oh, totally. No.
It probably would do more in here than this would do.
Yeah. No, and the reality is they're both great trucks in different ways. They've got different target audiences and different purposes, and they're both good at what they're supposed to be doing. So there you go. That's a look at a first-gen Tundra with 300,000 miles. Pretty incredible shape all around. You guys saw the body's in great shape. The interior, mechanically speaking, still has some off-road chops. 300,000 miles may seem like a lot on certain vehicles, but for this Tundra, I think it's got a few more hundred ahead of it. If you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And for more Toyota videos, be sure to subscribe. In the meantime, thanks for watching.